Cornerstone is an awesome, awesome place. We provide equine-assisted therapy to children, youth, and adults with special needs, and we also work with wounded warriors who are coming back from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, who have lost limbs, have traumatic brain injuries, all of which have post-traumatic stress disorder, and we let the horses work their magic.
I was in Iraq, and I almost made it 6 months before I got hit. Roadside bomb. The triggermen were hiding in the reeds on the Tigris, and then when I got close enough to it, they detonated. This leg went that way, that leg went that way, and 2 years in Army hospital, good to go. A lot of us, like wounded vets, we internalize everything because we don't want people to feel sorry for us. And I had a neighbor, and she said, "Hey Mike, why don't you come out of your hole and go ride some horses?" Once I finally got back in the saddle, like it was, oh, he fits right in. And that was the feeling, that look, how people, you could feel them looking at you, and they're looking at you like you're just a regular person. And that's all we are. We're just regular people. We're just missing a couple of limbs or something.
We use the horses to help with our kids who have special needs, where they learn to count, they learn sequencing, they learn their ABCs, coordination, balance, fine and gross motor skills. There are a lot of different things that the horses really help with, and it's an awesome environment because a lot of times you get into clinical environments, they're painful, they're stressful, they're frightening, and this is an environment where the kids are just having a ton of fun, and they don't even really know they're getting therapy, and that's really part of the magic of it.
Lost at sea for an eternity, it seems. Fickle winds, they only tease my sails. But never do they carry me home, sadly mistaken. Oh, yo.
My daughter Eleni is a little over 2. She's been riding maybe 8 weeks, and she has some issues that nobody really knows what's going on. The first time we came, she wouldn't go near the horse, and I held her when I was on the horse. By the 4th week, she went on by herself and did great. Now she is running more, her balance is better, and she's much more comfortable around the horses. I'm very positive about Cornerstone. Very excited every week to bring her. She's excited. She loves coming. I've told others and other students about Cornerstone.
I see them really start to come out of their shells. We have students that will show up and are very quiet and reserved, and you put them on a horse and all of a sudden they don't even really have to do anything. Their faces light up and they're excited and they're like, I want to trot, or I want to bend the cones, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And they're very eager to try new things with their horse. And they light up and they're excited to see us and their horses. This kid's out there riding and she's struggling to do this task, and she keeps trying and she keeps trying, and then she gets it, and the look on her face is just like, oh, I did it, oh my gosh. And she just is so proud of herself, and I love seeing that.
Well, I was over in Afghanistan, in Bagram, and our base was bombed. I happened to be in the building that was hit, and I was on the 3rd floor. And I had a sergeant first class in the building, in the room with me, and both of us were affected by the blast. I'm not able to be the person I was before because I lost that with my brain injury. When I come here, when I work with my horse, she doesn't care that I have a brain injury. It's almost like she reads my mind. She reads my emotions. She knows that something bad has happened to me in the past. And she knows I need her to help helped me get out of my shell. Though I'll never be my old self, Cornerstone has actually given me peace in my new self, has given me hope.
Each individual gets so much out of it in different ways. It helps them physically, the movements with the horses, but then just the release of being there on a horse and not having to worry about anything and not having people judge you and becoming one with the horse and that freedom that they feel.
Me home sadly mistaken. Oh, your words about true no. Well, I've run.
I was deployed down to Guantanamo Bay as a hospital corpsman. I was there doing patient care for the detainees, people who their whole job was to hurt my fellow service members. It was very hard for me to stomach. Unfortunately, the prisoners would use everything they possibly could to try to hurt the staff, whether it was mixing up every bodily fluid possible and throwing it at you, to finding a iguana and taking the tail and using it as a weapon. When you're riding, you kind of can't think of things like that. You can't be as hyper vigilant, because if you're too busy looking at everything else, your horse is going to feel that. It takes your mind away from that. You don't feel the threat. The horses don't judge you, think that you're a bad person. Even when I'm having a bad day, I come and, I brush Maggie or I brush Lita. Or during that whole time, you forget about your pain, and, whether it's your physical pain or your mental pain. And it's like a weight has been lifted off of you when you leave. It's like a little piece of heaven up here.
Only tease my sake, but never do they carry me home sadly mistaken. Oh, your words about true no. Well, I've run dry. Well, I've run dry. For a time, woe was me, full bucket but still thirsty. You were there the night I woke up.